Sitting around throwing dirt upon my character, using the same breath that's mine. Father, right, I crossed the line. Always got something to say. If only I could focus on the right thing. It's you that I need. Even in my hardest times, you provide for me. Even the words that I'm saying, it's coming to me as I say it, and I ain't playing. You see, think not on what you need to say. You bless me with words. Thank you for all you do for me. Healing me in the midst of all the hurt. Father, wherever you go, I wanna come to. Abba, wherever you go, higher, and you shall. I want to come to. Yeah. Take me wherever you go. Lift me up, yeah. In my spirit's lost. Take me wherever you go. Lift me up when I'm low. I owe it all to you. Yeah. I owe it all to you. 'Cause that's what you deserve. I owe it.
All right. Bad. I'm sorry. Is the audio coming through good? Somebody let me know if the over the YouTube and the Facebook if the audio coming through good. I think y'all good over IG. Lil Simba and David Leon, everybody else who tune in, who will tune in. Is the audio coming through good? I'm waiting on y'all's comment. Uh, Peace and blessings to you, Melissa. No, that is not Zamir Yehuda. This Tevin White. I want to come to. All praise to the Most High. I say that we good now. All praise to the Most High. All right. Yeah, so this song, family, that was by Tevin White or REA Music. You can find it over SoundCloud. I want to come to. I pray everybody good this morning. I pray that thus far through the week, the Most High been good to you and your family, and understanding that Him being good ain't always something that feel good or that we recognize to be something good or favorable. The Most High, when He move and He molding us, a lot of times it's just like the process of going to the gym and you working out, you getting fit, or establishing yourself. In order to do the things that we seeking to do, a lot of times we have to do the exact opposite. So we have to be comfortable. We have to be uncomfortable in order to have a lifestyle that we see as comfortable in a lot of situations. Referring to working and however else and other means that we provide for our families and ourselves. Sister V, Shalom, peace and blessing to you. Really well, we're really WC. Shamar Kwon Yasharala, Jameric, Saints of Yahweh Shai, Mora, Shalom, Nisapu, Turn Up, Johan, and everybody else who tuning in and who will tune in. So this morning, brothers and sisters, family, I want to speak on the matter of, us speaking the words of the Most High. Right now, what I've seen, what I've experienced, what I've observed over and over is when it come down to this society and the people that we dealing with, many times, family, we would jeopardize or we would compromise the word of the Most High to make somebody else feel good. We would compromise the word of the Most High because of a certain position or title that we may hold. We'll compromise the word of the Most High for the opinions of others, being slaves to the opinions of other people and more concerned with the opinion of other people than of the Most High. That's a dangerous situation, brothers and sisters. We don't want to be in this situation. When it comes down to speaking what the Most High give us to say, it's not always delivered in a way that people want it to deliver to them. But nonetheless, if it's the word of the Most High, the people would receive it sincerely. Another thing before we go into the message, when we seeing or hearing the words of the Most High coming from different people, whoever He decide to use, He can use a crackhead, He can use a murderer, He can use anybody who He see fit that He want to use in order to deliver the word and the message to whoever He's desiring to send that message to. The issue comes in a lot of times with the people saying, well, that's not how we want the message. We don't want it like that. And in that mindset to always seek to please the people, we'll never have true peace. Never will we have true peace. Uncle KB at Shalom, Mark, I'll pray to the Most High. All right, so we want to speak the words of the Most High, and in doing so, we're going to ruffle some feathers. We're going to make some people feel uncomfortable. We would feel uncomfortable in a lot of cases to speak the words of the Most High to people. You know what I mean? We don't know how they would respond. We don't know how they feel. We don't know their ideologies and their belief systems. We don't know if they even care. We don't know if it'll lead to a debate, in other cases leading to fights and, arguments that we don't want to have. But nonetheless, we got to speak what the Most High say. Definitely in the world where they trying to, or they aiming to stomp out the Most High's word. They want the people they want you to hear what it is that you desire to hear. They want you to hear the message that make you feel good, to make you comfortable in your sin, so that when the hammer drop, it's going to be OV for you. It's going to be a sudden destruction. All right, so that word of the Most High, it is like the brother Shema saying, it's quick. You know what I mean? It's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? It's not always supposed to be there when we hearing the word of the Most High. It's something that make us feel good. I've said it before. If we have teachers and we got mores and elders and even just people we getting counseling and advisory from, if every conversation that we having with these people makes us feel good, then that's probably not somebody who have our best interests at heart. Because man, woman, child, we have error in us. All right, and with that being understood, it requires correction. Correction don't always feel good. All right, so let's go into the message. We're gonna open up with John 8 and 47. T. Bracy, Shalom, peace and blessing to you. St. John 8 and 47. This is what we're gonna open up with. All right, so this right here is gonna set the tone for any and everybody who tuning in. You know what I mean? This right really will set it. St. John chapter 8, verse 47, and it reads. It says, he that is of the Most High heareth the Most High's words. Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of the Most High. So when we coming out this book, when we coming out, you know what I mean, from not from our own volition and what we want to say, but desiring to please the Most High with whatever it is that we speaking on, the person who is of the Most High, who's seeking the Most High, who love them, they gonna receive that word. In my journey of coming into the understanding that we are the children of Israel, we are the chosen people of the Most High, we are the true Jews. When I come across the information early on, I'm seeing and hearing brothers, they coming out the Bible, but they're using what's categorized as profanity. But I'm able to sift through that to say, man, but I want what the words say. That's not going to cause me to say, oh, I don't want nothing to do with the Most High. I don't want nothing to do with God. These dudes is crazy. That ain't, I mean, the driving force, if it's in us, brothers and sisters, we want to hear what the word is. We're going to hear it on, the people will go and listen to hours and hours of music that's ungodly. They got all type of profanity in it. People will listen to or watch hours and hours of movies and entertainment. They got profanity and all type of transgression in it and be entertained by it. We'll sit there and spend we'll binge on Netflix and these different, movie sites. But the movies and the entertainment that a lot of people taking in, and a lot of them saying that they believe us, it's not glorifying the Most High. It ain't even got the word of the Most High, but they will receive that readily. But then when it come down to the word of the Most High, if it's coming in a manner that's hard, if it's coming in a manner that's masculine, if it's sharp, it's straightforward, the people don't want to deal with it a lot of times. All right. But reading it again, St. John 8 and 47 says, he that is of the Most High heareth the Most High's words. So it don't matter who it's coming from, brothers and sisters. It can come from a man. It can come from a woman. It can come from a child. But if I didn't went through this book and what this person is saying lines up with scripture, I'm going to receive what they're saying. I'm going to take that in. But the people have an issue with trusting, believing, loving, and putting man on a pedestal higher than the Most High. But it says, he that is of the Most High heard the Most High's words. Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of the Most High. A lot of people want an excuse and a reason to not hear what the Most High got to say. But they only fooling themselves. Let's go to Ezekiel 2. Ezekiel chapter 2. So this is the resolve that we have to take definitely in these times, brothers and sisters. The enemy ain't playing, nor is his cohorts the people that work for him, the people that's with the foolery and the nonsense. We got to have some sharp to cut through all of the confusion and the crap. All right, and that's the truth. And how it come is going to be the word of the Most High. All right, so Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 7. It says, and thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are most rebellious. So when we talking about the Bible, it's a lot of people, they don't care about this. They believe it's all a fairy tale. I had a comment, a guy said, I guess it's a guy. He said something about, how do I not know that the book I'm reading is a devil's lie? He said he don't need the book. All he need is God or she. Okay. Have that resolve, but what is the source that we're using to filter when the enemy comes in to display that he is God? How can you tell the difference without the word? Like I asked the young man before, how do you know the true servant of the Most High? And his response was, that person will have a glow on them. Now, not reading, not knowing it, and being accustomed to what the Most High said, I'm like, well, that's, the book tells me that the enemy, the adversary, he himself and his workers and ministers will appear to people as angels of light. So that means that the evil people will have a glow on them too. So we can't use that. But the word and what the Most High said is the filter. It's the filter to show us the difference between who is who and what is what. So when that word come out and it's from the Most High and the people don't want it, we know who that is. Say you don't receive it because you're not of the Most High. And our goal, our mission, family, is not to appease the people. It's to do what the Most High says, to speak what he say, whether they gonna hear it and receive it, or whether they gonna reject it and hate us. I'm gonna read it again, Ezekiel 2:7. And thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are most rebellious. But thou son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like their rebellious house. Open thy mouth and eat that I give thee. So the people rebelling against the source that created all things. Or some will say, well, how can I believe in the Bible? Man made the Bible. Well, man wrote the Bible. Who wrote the Bible? Well, who made man though? Who made man? And then in the other case, they say, well, I can't believe it because it's man-made. But they'll go and read this book by Rick Ross. They'll go read the 48 Laws of Power that's written also by men. This is an issue. And this is how we understand and can see these people don't love the Most High. So when we speak in the words of the Most High, this is the pushback we get. We're going to get all type of things, all types of responses, all types of reactions. All right, but we understand. Remember, family, the book told us broad and wide is the way that lead to destruction. All right, broad and wide. So it's a people in comfortability. We say narrow and straight, S-T-R-A-I-T, meaning it's a difficult path. This thing is not always pleasing. By us speaking the word of the Most High, we're going to bring enemies to ourselves as well as friends. Nonetheless, he said, be not afraid of men in their faces. So we got to stay on that beaten path. So let's move forward. Let's go to Jeremiah 28. Jeremiah chapter 28. I'm going to start with 1. YouTube, let me know if everything's still coming through. If it's still coming through fine on y'all's end, the visual and the audio. Jeremiah 28 is where I'm waiting on y'all. Jalea Williams, peace and blessing to you. Hannah Israel, hopeful elect, spiritual light. Dino BL, peace and blessing to y'all, and everybody else who's tuning in or who haven't commented or who won't comment. Okay, come on, pray to the Most High. Everybody, Yeshua 11. Tell you how would I peace and blessing to you. Do it for the nation, peace and blessing to you as well over the IG. Black Rain 303, the water. I'll pray to the Most High. Thank y'all. Jeremiah 28, saints. It says, I'm starting with verse 1. It says, and it came to pass the same year in the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah, in the 4th year and in the 5th month, that Hananiah, the son of Azur the prophet, which was of Gibeon, spake unto me in the house of the Most High, in the presence of the priests and of all the people, saying, thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel, saying, I have broken the yoke of the king of Babylon. Within 2 full years will I bring again into this place all the vessels of the Most High's house, that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, took away from this place and carried them to Babylon. All right, so then here's another issue or something else that's on the table when it comes down to the word of the Most High. If we saying that we're receiving these messages from the Most High, he quickening our spirits, he granting us discernment, if all these messages and these visions, even I'm talking about the different forms that he speaks, the confirmations, even when we fast and then he give us revelation during our fast, if all these things line up to be something that's smooth to us, that's peaceable to us, is never nothing to correct the actual person. Like I get cut in times when I'm teaching. You know what I'm saying? Like I get the dream that I have is record rebuke for me. So it's not always supposed to be a good word for the people when we truly serve in the Most High. Again, because we have error. Men have error in us. And that error is in us because we don't want to hear the word of the Most High. But this person here, he's telling, look, Nebuchadnezzar, man, the Most High going to restore everything that was taken away. All right, Jeremiah 28, verse 4. And I will bring again to this place Jeconiah, the son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, with all the captives of Judah that went into Babylon, saith the Most High. For I will break the yoke of the king of Babylon. All right, so he's saying that this is the message that the Father has given us, Israel. Let's see how Jeremiah responds. Verse 5. Then the prophet Jeremiah said unto the prophet Hananiah in the presence of the priests and in the presence of all the people that stood in the house of the Most High. Even the prophet Jeremiah said, Amen, or Amen, or Amen. The Most High do so. The Most High perform thy words which thou hast prophesied, to bring again the vessels of the Most High's house and all that is carried away captive from Babylon into this place. Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thine ears, and in the ears of all the people. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. So we go on here, brothers and sisters, to show that the messages that the prophets of old came with, it wasn't messages that the people in the society wanted to hear. Everything gonna be all right. It's gonna be straight shalom all over the world peace. Even with the basketball player, world metal peace. That's not the message of the Most High. It's not always gonna be something peaceable. He said they prophesied of war and of evil and of pestilence. Within it is a lot of death. Within it is a lot of disappointment. Within it is a lot of grievance and grief. And these are the things that we have to accept. We got to be real about it. So many people want to be politically correct, so they choose to be politically correct instead of speaking what's right and righteous in the eyes of the Most High. And that's a dangerous position. We don't want that, brothers and sisters. Verse 9 says, the prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Most High have truly sent him. Then Hananiah the prophet took the yoke from off the prophet Jeremiah's neck and brake it. And Hananiah spake in the presence of all the people, saying, thus saith the Most High, even so will I break the yoke of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, from the neck of all nations within the space of 2 full years. And the prophet Jeremiah went his way. Verse 12, then the word of the Most High came unto Jeremiah the prophet. After that, Hananiah the prophet had broken the yoke from off the neck of the prophet Jeremiah, saying, go and tell Hananiah, saying, thus saith the Most High, thou hast broken the yokes of wood, but thou shalt make for them yokes of iron. So yeah, you lying. You telling the people that the yoke gonna be broken, the yoke is of wood. All right, but nonetheless, I'm gonna put a yoke on it that's even more strenuous. Verse 14, for thus saith the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel, I'll put a yoke of iron upon the neck of all these nations, that they may serve Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and they shall serve him. And I have given him the beasts of the field also. Then said the prophet Jeremiah to Hananiah the prophet, hear now, Hananiah, the Lord have not sent thee, but thou makest this people to trust in a lie. Therefore thus saith the Most High, behold, I will cast thee from off the face of the earth. This year thou shalt die, because thou hast taught rebellion against the Most High. So Hananiah the prophet died the same year in the 7th month. So we go on here, brothers and sisters, to see too these false prophets, even as the demons who tune in continuously. one who would say that they are the Christ, the one who's saying that this and that to come to bring. A lot of these people saying that they speaking the word of the Most High, and it ain't of the Most High. And they speaking to draw the people to them, not the Most High. All right. So let me see. We're gonna continue on. Give me a second. Give me a second, right quick. Indeed, indeed. Let's go to Proverbs 26. Proverbs 26. Proverbs 26 is where we're going. So we seen Hananiah, the prophet, he prophesied good news that was false. Jeremiah told him, like, look, no, man, that's not the case. And because he prophesied that lie, the Most High took life from him. Proverbs 26, verse 28. It says, a lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it. So when we constantly seeking to appease the people, we want to tell them, we don't want to correct them. We don't want to be at odds with our children, with our parents, with our friends, with our spouses, with our cousins and extended family members for the word of the Most High, for the reason of the word. It says when we do that, when we lie, we hate that person. We hate the person who we lie to instead of keeping it real with them. We would say we in the truth. We in the truth, but we can't accept the truth. And the truth not always feeling good. The truth not always being something that is the popular opinion amongst the people. All right. Proverbs 26, 28. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth work of ruin. So the ones who just constantly want to rub your back, constantly want to egg you on, stroke your ego, don't want to tell you wrong when you wrong. It said that person who flattering you like they work of ruin, because in the end, you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer because the person had not, you know what I'm saying, told you what was real, told you what the real deal is, instead of, you know what I mean, fronting, flogging like it's this when it's not. All right, this thing's supposed to rock some people. You know what I'm saying? The word of the Most High, when we speak that, again, it's going to create enemies and it's going to create friends, but it is a filter. You know what I'm saying? It filters out who we want around us and who we don't, and who we can be around. All praise to the Most High for that. We need that. Indeed, Shema said, it's because I love you that I bring correction. Indeed. All right, let's go to Amos 5 and 10. Amos chapter 5, verse 10. Amos chapter 5, verse 10, family. It says, they hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. So I'm just understanding it as we meditate on it just a little bit. It said they hate the person that corrects, the one who stand guard to say, well, no, this is not that. This is actually this. That's not of the Most High. And I'm not saying that we have to have this mindset to be over righteous or self-righteous, brothers and sisters. I'm saying in a manner of love, to bring it in a loving manner, but nonetheless to not sugarcoat it. You know what I mean? To not trim our ways to find love, as the book says. You know what I mean? We taking back on, and again, compromising not only on the word of the Most High, but when we do that, we compromise on our own soul. We stand to be in judgment against and at odds with the Most High by trying to do what the people would think feels good or what's right. All right, so it says that they hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. So again, from the message about how strong is your faith, that ties into us believing in the word of the Most High, us believing in the Most High. We speak what he say, not our own words. And by default, us having that faith, we stand as a sign and symbol against those who are non-believers or who hate the Most High. So within that whole matter, you know, brothers and sisters, we got to understand, you know, I mean, we're gonna cause uproars and disruption. We're gonna be targets, but nonetheless, let us take that yoke on with a smile. All praise to the Most High. Let's go to Isaiah 30. So this is what's going on too. So the population of the people, Isaiah 30. Isaiah 30, I'm going to start with verse 8. It says, now go, write it before them in a table and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever. That this is a rebellious people. So we got to understand it. When we talking to these folks and they getting upset and all that, first and foremost, the people rebellious is spirits that's dwelling in bodies. A lot of these people, they demon possessed, and they really don't love the Most High. Understand it. So the message is for those who will receive it. It's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's all good if you have a contrary and adverse mindset. But the people possessed with demons. And the force of these demons, they spilling out more and more. The people becoming more and more perfect hosts for demonic possession. When Yeshaya put it, he said, as the state of a man is, once an unclean spirit leave him, and then that unclean spirit walking through dry places and then return back with 7 other spirits that's even more wicked than he himself. It says the first state of that man, the last state of the man is worse than the first. He said, even so it is with the generation of the people. So through the years, through the time, we seeing the wickedness and the evil increase at a level that it hadn't been at before. This is why we seeing that they got policies at the job for the transgenders. This is why we seeing that, you know, they making ways and provisions saying that, well, the mindset for those who are minor attracted. They say, well, this is something that we should be considering and kind of, you know, help these people so that they won't have their mindset. Understand that, brothers, we living in a wicked time. There's more, they really trying to kill us. The housing market right now, we're talking about with the rent, we're talking about with mortgages. They skyrocketing from the research and study that I did. They were saying it was somewhat to like 300 some odd different companies that handles the housing. Or they had a company to do a study on how the market is, and they said that 96% of these companies have the houses and the places of living overvalued. Now, keep in mind, the gas prices is still increasing. So the cost of living is still increasing, brothers and sisters. The cost of living, so to travel is increasing. The power of the dollar is decreasing. And I don't know if it's anywhere else in any other state or city, but in Tennessee, they're talking about passing a law now. It says that if you're homeless and they catch you camping on land or public property, you're gonna go to jail, you're gonna get hit with a felony. So when we connecting the dots, brothers and sisters, we seeing that they don't care about the people. They really working, they have a mindset to drive us to, they want to kill us, which it leads into another message about all of this is a sacrifice. You know what I mean? They sacrifice a number of people to try to open a door to do more things. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go too far into it, but by sacrificing a certain amount of people, just like within one of the other studies, they're talking about the monkeypox, even as it was with the C-19, the virus, the people still, you know, dealing with or have a mindset about. There was a purposeful thing done to kill millions of people to grant and drive more and more power to the enemy in the dark kingdom, to segue into more evil to be released. It's like they have to hit a certain level of death and murder and suffering in order to release another. It's a power up for the evil. I'm going to say it like that in short. Brown skin Yeshua, the elite wants full and complete control. This is true. This is true. All right, so but this is all of this is what I'm talking about is the reason why we got to speak what the Most High say. Despite who believe it, who hate it, who love it, who care about it, or who listening or who not. Because in the end, we gonna see, what the real deal is. And just like what Judah said, yep, that Satan requires souls. Satan does require souls. This is why when the people and the celebrities, they make these deals with the devil, they make these contracts, it's not just with the person who he making a contract with. Your family is brought into it, your children. So then this is why we see that Magic Johnson's son is sold out, straight up flamboyant sodomite. This is why we see Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union with their son. Because you want all these millions, well, I'm going to give you the millions, but you give me your children and your soul. So the contract continues on. So if we don't know, brothers and sisters, we got to understand this. It's certain agreements that some of the family members may have made in our lives, in our lineage, in bloodlines, that we need to denounce. It's certain covenants that these people have made. So, I may seem like my family under a curse, aside from the curses that we read of in Deuteronomy 28. It's probably because somebody in your family, came and shook hands with the devil, shook hands with the enemy. You know what I'm saying? So we got to denounce those things too. All praise to the Most High for the upsetting of devils, for the upsetting of demons with the word. All praise. I'm glad it get under y'all skin. Those who in the comments on the YouTube and Facebook, I'm glad y'all feel some kind of way. All praise to the Most High. That's my job. It's my job to make you mad with the word of the Most High. I'm going to keep doing it too. All right, let's go to St. John 12. Let's go to John 12. St. John 12. Remember where we started here, brothers and sisters. It says, he that is of the Most High heard the word of the Most High. It's not my job to convince nobody. You can't be drawn to the Most High unless he already called you for it anyhow. So all our job it is to put the word out to those who are already seeking it, who already have it in them anyway, and they just need it to be sharpened in many cases. And a lot of people they being accounted for. A lot of the people being accounted for. Indeed. And that's what the book tells us, ask forgiveness for our forefathers and foremothers in Deuteronomy. So we're going to St. John 12. St. John 12, verse 37, saints. It says, but though he had done so many miracles before them, yet they believed not on him, that the saying of Isaiah the prophet might be fulfilled, which he spake. Master, who have believed our report? And to whom have the arm of the Most High been revealed? Therefore they could not believe, because that Isaiah said again, he have blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted, and I should heal them. So the word go out, and a lot of people, they don't want to hear what the word of the Most High, because they want to dwell in their sin. They say, well, I can't accept that part of the book, because if I do, then I can't do this right here, which I want to do. I love to do this particular sin. So if I accept what you're saying now, brother, I can't do that. So altogether, they reject it. So then you see the different problems and issues amongst the nation where the people saying, well, it's not this, it's not that. Those people getting accounted for too. Just because you don't believe, don't make it not true. The word of the Most High is sure. It is what it is. All right. Continuing on, though, it says, these things said Isaiah when he saw his glory and spake of him. Nevertheless, among the chief rulers also many believed on him. But because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue. For they loved the praise of men more than the praise of the Most High. And here is one of the main things. So the people, they're afraid of the other people. You got more fear in people than you do in the Most High. I fear the one who can not only kill the body, but kill the body and then cast the soul into hell. That's the one who I fear. So to stand against anybody, whoever you may be, wherever you may be, so be it. That's what it's going to be. And they don't want to be held accountable. But he says here, I'm going to read this again, John 12 and 42. Nevertheless, among the chief rulers, also many believed on him. So you got people who believe, but they won't come out and say it because they're afraid of the opinion of people. But because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue. So you going along with what the people are saying and what they're doing because you want somewhere to fellowship. You just want to be around somebody who got a common mindset. If you feel like that, if you operate in this spirit, listen, that's not of the Most High. It's supposed to be win, lose, or draw, brothers and sisters. Verse 43, for they loved the praise of men more than the praise of the Most High. All right, and that's what's going on too. The people loving the praise of men, they want the position and they want the authority. They want all the people to say, look at him, look at her. They got it going on. You know what I mean? A lot of people who the Most High really using, it's the people who you wouldn't expect. It's the people who you don't even, they don't look like that the Father would even deal with them. They are the outcast and the rejected. They're not the most handsome. They're not the most articulate in speaking. They're not the most talented. A lot of those people are the unfavorables. All right, but nonetheless, the Father deal with who he does. Let's go with let's see. Let's go to Ezekiel 33. Ezekiel 33. Ezekiel 33, saints. Ezekiel 33, we're going to start with 31. All praise to the Most High. It does cut. And the word, again, like I mentioned earlier, it reveals who is who. You want to know if somebody really with you, start talking about, just stand on the faith. And I'm talking about the whole book. Stand on the faith and see what happens. You're going to see who is who's really for you, who's against you. Ezekiel 33, verse 30. I'm going to start with that, son. It says, also, thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, everyone to his brother, saying, come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that cometh forth from the Most High. And they come unto thee as the people come, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness. And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that have a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument. For they hear thy words, but they do them not. All right, so and this was going on too. The word going out is going forth. And guess what? The people, is just a song to them for some people when we speak it. So we're going into this portion, brothers and sisters, because it be many of us that does speak the word of the Most High, and it's like we don't get results. But understand it's not us who gonna save the people. It's him. It's up to him. He's the judge. He determines whether or not we get in or we reject it from the gates of the New Jerusalem. So in that case, you know what I mean? Some people, they going to come, you know what I mean, to hear the word, and that's all it's going to be. Some people you're going to meet, you're going to speak the word to, and they're going to be on fire, like the parable of the sower that Messiah gave us. You know what I'm saying? They're going to hear the word, be on fire for it, like, yeah. You better chop it up with them, have a good conversation. But straightway, when they part from you, they're going to be doing something that's adverse to that. They're going to forget all about it. They're not going to operate in the spirit of the Most High. And that's up to them. It's not for us to condemn them or justify them. We did our part. We spoke what he said to speak. We told them whatever it is that the Most High laid on our spirit to give. All right, but it's up to each person. You know what I'm saying? Whether they hear or forbear, man. But it said that their heart goeth after their covetousness. So when we read this, we got to understand this too, saints, that the people have, not all people, but many people, they have a higher concern, a greater desire, a stronger love for the possessions and the things and the cares of this life than they do than the words of the Most High, than pleasing the Most High, than doing what the Father had commanded us to do. All right, so again, they slave to the opinions of others. But let's go to John 12. We're gonna hit John 12 to line that up. Line that up with a verse to say that we're gonna speak what the Father says. Ezekiel 2 and 7. St. John 12, verse 49. It says, "For I have not spoken of myself, but the Father which sent me, he gave me a commandment, what I should say and what I should speak." So now, we got an issue of the people saying, well, who is Christ and who is the Messiah? And he's speaking against the Most High. But if we read and understand, he only repeating what the Father revealed and gave him to say. But even in the time where he walked in the flesh, the people was against him. The people were for him. The people were confused about who he was. So it's nothing new under the sun in that aspect, family. Don't let that take you off the rock. Whoever this word is for you. Not bringing fruit to perfection, indeed. Karatazar tribe of Judah. Peace and blessing to you. All right, St. John 12 and 50 says, "And I know that his commandment is life everlasting. Whatsoever I speak, therefore, even as the Father said unto me, so I speak." That's our resolve, family. We're going to speak what the Most High say. And in doing so, again, it's going to put us in some situations that may be uncomfortable. Let's get an example. Let's go to 1 Kings. Let me get an example of what I'm talking about now. 1 Kings 22. 1 Kings 22. I'm going to start with 1. All right, it says, "And they continued 3 years without war between Syria and Israel. And it came to pass in the 3rd year that Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, came down to the king of Israel. And the king of Israel said unto his servants, Know ye that Ramoth in Gilead is ours, and we be still, and take it not out of the hand of the king of Syria?" Verse 4. "And he said unto Jehoshaphat, Wilt thou go with me to battle to Ramoth Gilead? And Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel, I am as thou art, my people as thy people, my horses as thy horses. And Jehoshaphat said unto the king of Israel, Inquire, I pray thee, at the word of the Most High today. Then the king of Israel gathered the prophets together, about 400 men, and said unto them, Shall I go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? Should I go to war with these people or not? And in doing so, they called for the prophets. And you got 400 prophets to say, yeah, go to war. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna overcome these people. All right, there's 400 men telling the king, telling these people that it's good counsel to go to war. All right, verse 7 says, And Jehoshaphat said, Is there not here a prophet of the Most High besides, that we might inquire of him? So is there anybody else aside these 400 that got a word? Because he understands that it's not balanced, and that's a part of what this message is about too. When we speak in the word of the Most High, again, if the response is or what we driving and the motivation is always something good, that's not balanced. If the responses and the motivation is always something to cause an uproar or a distraction or disruption or anger, or to hurt somebody, that's not balanced. The Most High said he loved a just weight. All right, so continuing on. Verse 8, it says, And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, There is yet one man, Micaiah, the son of Imlah, by whom we may inquire of the Most High. But I hate him, for he doth not prophesy good concerning me, but evil. And Jehoshaphat said, Let not the king say so. So he understood, man, this dude here, he ain't gonna play with me. He ain't gonna sit here and tell me that by me for some, by me being an antichrist, I'm still gonna make it to the New Jerusalem. I'm gonna make it to the kingdom. No, you're gonna burn. You'll be condemned. He ain't gonna tell me that, I can go about doing and treating people however I want to, being a backbiter, being a snake, being a thief, being a robber, being an adulterer, being a fornicator, being a drunkard, being a brawler, one with malice, being somebody who defiles the temple of the Most High, not by just consuming toxic substances, but you're cutting on yourself. You know what I'm saying? You trying to kill yourself. No, you do that, you're gonna end up in a lake of fire. Yeah. So instead of telling people, you're gonna be all right, everything gonna be good, you're gonna be cool. Now, this brother Micaiah, like, bro, you gonna get it. The Most High gonna deal with you in a manner that you recognizing it to be evil when he's speaking. I'm gonna read that again. 1 Kings 22, verse 8. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, there is yet one man, Micaiah, the son of Imlah, by whom we may inquire the Most High, but I hate him, for he do not prophesy good concerning me, but evil. And Jehoshaphat said, let not the king say so. Then the king of Israel called an officer and said, hasten hither Micaiah the son of Imlah. And the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat the king of Judah sat each on his throne, having put on their robes in a void place in the entrance of the gate of Samaria. And all the prophets prophesied before them. And Zedekiah the son of Kenana made him horns of iron. And he said, thus saith the Most High, with these shalt thou push the Syrians until thou have consumed them. So this dude come in, he got a whole vision. The man got a whole example to give through material, these iron horns and everything. To say, man, like with these horns, this is how you're gonna overcome them. All right, verse 12, it says, and all the prophets prophesied so, saying, go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for the Most High shall deliver it into the king's hand. And the messenger that was gone to call Micaiah spake unto him, saying, behold now, the words of the prophets declare good unto the king with one mouth. So 400 men, they saying all the same thing. It says, let thy word, I pray thee, be like the word of one of them, and speak that which is good. It's a time to speak good. All right, but it's a time where it ain't a time to speak good. We got that out of Jeremiah. So he tell him, like, look, man, be on one accord with these people who lying. Listen to this. Here go our resolve right here, those saints. 1 Kings 22:14. Write this one down. And Micaiah said, as the Most High liveth, what the Most High saith unto me, that will I speak. All right, so despite what anybody think, care about, or feel, we gonna speak what the Most High say. All right, verse 15. So he came to the king, and the king said unto him, Micaiah, shall we go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall we forbear? And he answered him, go and prosper, for the Most High shall deliver it into the hand of the king. And the king said unto him, how many times shall I adjure thee that thou tell me nothing but that which is true in the name of the Most High? So the king, look at this resolve here. There's something else. The king already know that he being sarcastic with him. So the people within themselves, they already have a level of conviction if they haven't been turned over to a reprobate mind. These folks already know. But again, they'll reject the truth of the Most High to hold fast to whatever comfortability or sin that they trying to operate in, that they want to stay in and hold fast to. All right. But nonetheless, doing it, that doesn't change the judgment of the Most High. Whether the judgment rendered be unto eternal life with blissfulness or eternal life with damnation. All right, verse 17. It says, and he said, I saw all Israel scattered upon the hills, as sheep that have not a shepherd. And the Most High said, these have no master. Let them return every man to his house in peace. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, did I not tell thee that he would prophesy no good concerning me, but evil? And he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Most High. I saw the Most High sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And the Most High said, who shall persuade Ahab, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this mountain, and another said on that mountain. So he having his vision about these spirits, because spirits dwell in bodies. Spirits transfer. Spirits, they have to have a vessel to host. All right. But what's going on? He tell them, look, who said Ahab did have and there came forth a spirit. He said, I will go and prevail. Then all 2 Timothy 4. Let's see. I'll pray it. Indeed, indeed. All right. 2 Timothy 4:2. It says, preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. So we put in this verse, brothers and sisters, because in the time that we have to speak the word of the Most High, it's not going to always be a time where we feel like it's a good season. You know what I mean? You might be tired. You might be hungry. You might be uncomfortable. You might be facing some type of issues with the bills. The car might not be working. Or the job might have just let you go. Or the job that your own business might not be doing so well. However it may be. But when the opportunity presents itself, we making sure that we go into the throne first. Father, is this what you want me to say? Is this word from you? And then if so, we go forth with it. But in the case of where we can't feel him, we don't know, he ain't responding and giving us that confirmation. We still speaking the word of the Most High. In season, out of season. We rebuking, reproving, all of it. All right, and we suffering it. We're doing it, exhorting with long suffering and doctrine. Proverbs 11:1. That's where we're going. Proverbs 11:1. Let's see. And I'm almost finished here, saints. Thus far, I pray that it's been edifying and strengthening. Proverbs 11:1. It says, a false balance is abomination to the Most High, but a just weight is his delight. All right, again, we come here because when we speak in the word, I'm constantly driving this same point. When we speak in the word of the Most High, it's not going to always be a word that's favorable to us. You know what I'm saying? And when he speaks to us, it shouldn't always be something good. And even with that, it's not even always that we have to speak. Sometimes the word of the Most High is be quiet. Sometimes the word of the Most High is be still. Sometimes the word of the Most High is no. You know, it's not always yes, go, keep on doing it. No. You know what I'm saying? That's not balance. There wouldn't be balance if it was always yes, if it was always good, if it was always go mode. So the balance comes in. Sometimes it's yes, sometimes it's no. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. There's balance, saints, and that's what we want. Proverbs 12:1. Proverbs 12:1, and it reads, whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish. So we going here because when the word comes, that's what it is. It is instruction. It is knowledge. It is reproof, and we want to receive that. So when the word come out for us, and sometimes in the case or the season where the word we receive is not favorable, even if you reject it at first, go and meditate on it, pray on that thing, dwell on it, take it to the Most High. And when it come back to you, it's right because it wasn't given to you in a manner that felt good, or it didn't come from the person that you wanted it to come from. You know what I'm saying? Thank the Most High that He sent His word. All praise to the Most High. So Solo Dolo 8871. Peace and blessing to you as well. Everybody else who's tuning in. Judah for Israelite. Peace and blessing to you. No Nine Servant. Peace and blessings. Let's see. This all I have, saints. Osai Abdiel. Isaiah 44:18. 2 Corinthians 4:4. The Most High promotes the increase, yet still we preach the gospel to every creature. Indeed. All right, so question, comments, and concern before we close out, family. Sister Weezy. Peace and blessing to you, Shalom. Any questions, comments, and concerns? First Israelite sweetness, peace and blessing to you. Have a blessed day, saint. Have a blessed day. Let me see what you got. I thank the Most High for the lesson. Dynasty Tribe. Good lesson. This is my second lesson. Now, all praise to the Most High. Welcome, salute, shalom, peace and blessing to all the people. If this is your first time tuning in to this channel as well, too. The goal and the desire that I have, just to let y'all know, is not about me. You know what I'm saying? The goal is to win a soul. And within it, I'm a person of, I don't try to put on for the camera, none of that. So I'm gonna give it to you how it is in my spirit when I, you know what I'm saying, relay the message. Saying that to say, bless those who bless, me, and who bless the Most High. Bless those who bless you, and may the people who curse us be cursed. You know what I'm saying? In the name of the Messiah. Bless those who bless us and curse those who curse us, like the book tells us. Question, comments, concern before we close out. Shema said I hit on many of the topics him and the Ark was speaking on the other day. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Bless you. Bless y'all. Shemaiah. All praise to the Most High. Indeed. Peace and blessing to the 12 tribe. Thank the Most High. Equator said, I've been needing this confirmation. All praise to the Most High. Glory be to the Creator of the heavens and the earth, the seas, and everything that's in them. All right, no questions, no comments, no concerns. All praise to the Most High. Well, thank y'all, family. I pray that the word is not only heard, but be received and take root within our spirits, within our souls, and then we can carry it not only today and through the duration of the day, but through the rest of the week, throughout life. Sister Deasia, shalom, shalom. Peace and blessing to you and the family. I also thank you, the water, for the support of the ministry. When y'all do send in the monetary, when y'all do pray for me and the family. Deasia, no, you didn't. If you didn't get a notification, it's something that happens sometimes. So you probably want to unsubscribe and resubscribe, and then hit the bell. Hit that bell icon for the notification. Sometimes YouTube be unsubscribing people. Indeed, indeed. Shema, I don't know how to save the lesson, but I'm streaming over YouTube and Facebook. So if you go to Facebook or if you go to YouTube, just type in Paisley the Hebrew. Those over um Facebook and YouTube, if you want to subscribe or follow on IG, it's Paisley underscore the underscore Hebrew. Indeed, indeed. All right, no question, comment, concern. So if y'all think of something, shoot it to the email. Here is the email. Children of the Prophets. Children of the Prophets 144 at gmail.com. Let's see. This is the email. And also before I go, I do want to encourage fasting, saints. Some of us we need to fast a little more. Uh, for the battle against these strongholds. You know what I mean? The strongholds not only that we face as individuals, but that our loved ones facing, or left